When my dad invented the Texas Fireframe grate, he used the laws of physics to open up the hottest part of the fire to the room. Time magazine called it the physicist's fire. Let me show you how easy it is to start and maintain. We'll go back to about a half hour ago when I first built this fire. You can use split or unsplit logs or a combination of both. I'm going to make this fire with all split logs. And you want to start with your biggest log, put it in the back. Notice the grate is all the way in the back of the fireplace. Then I'm going to put 1 or 2 logs on the bottom, depending on how many I can fit. In this case, I can fit 2 in the bottom. That bigger log right there in the back. Then I'm going to put the top layer logs on. And here we go. I want all the logs to be nestled, so this one's touching this one's touching the back one, and the lower 2 are touching everything. It's like a sideways C, and they're all in contact, except they're not touching here, of course, because this is the slot where we're going to build the fire and where we're going to create the radiant heat. So the next step is to light the fire. Oh, I wanted to mention also, this is where you adjust the adjustable arms. If you want to raise it, you can take your poker and go like this to raise it, or you can go like this, tapping it to open it, to close it rather. Since the fire hasn't started yet, the logs are cold, you can lift them and use your hands. I like to have about a 2-inch opening in front. 2 inches is just about perfect to get that fire started. Now it's time to light it, and purists will only use paper, but you can also use kindling if you prefer, and I just like to take 2 pieces of Mississippi fatwood and put it right there in the slot on the lower pieces of wood. Then what you do is you take 3 sheets of newspaper and you're going to make 3 knots. And the knots go right inside in the slot that you've created. Like that. And now we're ready to light it. It's that easy. I'm just going to light each of the 3 knots, and I'm just going to double check, make sure everything's touching, which it is, and let's see what happens. So it's cooking along there. And it looks like it's off to a nice start. And here we are, it's later. It's really red in the cavity, and we're really feeling some intense heat right now. Again, we have not moved the logs. We haven't done any pushing or poking. It's just maintaining itself really nicely. And you can see the red, hot facings of all the logs in there. It's that hot part of the fire that we've opened up towards the room with those adjustable arms. And that's what this grate is all about, and that's what sets it apart. So the heart of the fire is opened up to the room so that we're feeling the radiant heat way out. And we have to really sit back from the fire now to be comfortable. It's really putting out some pretty good heat. Now, if this was a conventional fire that had been going for about a half hour, we would have had to poke and roll the logs and move them around to keep it going. With this fire, we have literally just lit it with a match, and that's it. and it just keeps going. And that's what's one of the wonderful things about this arrangement, is not just the heat that it creates, but the simplicity of maintaining it. You could just walk away and enjoy it, but not till the logs really start to burn down do you have to think about either pushing them in or replacing them. I'm going to see if they need to be pushed in at all right now. Ah, there we go. Yes, they have started to burn down a bit. So you can see that. And that is the sum total of maintenance of this fire. Just pushing the logs in so they all maintain contact, to maintain that cavity. And then over time, as the logs burn out, we will replace them, but that's going to be quite a while. We're about half an hour into it now, and it's going strong. We haven't had to do anything except just nudge the top and bottom log back about an inch since they've started to burn down a bit. And we're getting a lot of heat from those red, really hot red facings of the log inside that cavity that have been opened up towards the room. No coals have started to drop down yet, and yet we still have really good heat coming out of that fire. All right, now I'm going to show you how to keep the fire going. Let's say it's still early in the evening. Well, you can see that these pieces are really breaking up a lot. So I'm going to push them back as far as I can, let them break up if they need to. And then I'm going to put a new log on using the tongs. And I'm just going to slide it on there. Put this one on top. And I want to actually lift the arm a little bit here. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put yet another log on there. There. And we have our second fire for the evening. That easy. And here we are in phase 2, where we added the 3 logs a while ago, and now they're going really strong and really hot. And the fire has absolutely peaked in terms of the heat that's just pouring into the room right now. I'm going to turn out the lights so we can just enjoy the flames. Now, if I wanted to keep this fire going later in the evening, I could very easily add a log right here on the bottom level, another log right up here on the top level. But I'm not going to do that. It's time to start winding down for the evening. But you can see how easy it is to keep a fire going all day long. I've had one going 24 hours when we were without heat at one point. So that's just how you keep it going. Is just add a log on the top, add a log on the bottom, and then just keep pushing them back. And you have sort of a non-stop fire if you choose. Right now, I'm going to let these logs burn out, and then I'm going to call it a night.